Hi guys, this is Anupam. I have cleared my engineering degree finally in 2018 just with the help of only and only Mr. Bhupalan and Priya ma'am. So they are the best teachers because their way of technique is very different. For as you know, each student is different. Every person has a different character and they can adapt things in a different way. What happens here is, when students are not able to go they are not able to clear papers. What they do is they start each and every time they go to a different teacher, and but the style of teaching remains same. So that is why most of the time we do not clear our papers. So in my case, if you see, I had 13 papers left and it was my last attempt, so I just had 2 semesters to clear it. All right, so 2 attempts, and I was like at a immediate need of getting these papers cleared. Otherwise I wouldn't get my degree, because Anna University had announced that this would be your last attempt. After the 2 attempts would be the last attempt. After that you'll never get any chance to clear the papers. You will be your degree would be barred. So that is why I came to know about Mr. Bhopalan sir and Priya ma'am through one of my friends who had 33 arrears, and he within 2 or 3 semesters he was able to clear 20 to 30 papers at 3 attempts. Just 30 papers is not a small task, okay? And this is the same guy who had 33 papers when he came out of engineering. So that's the major deal. And and this is a very big deal about people clearing papers within a certain attempt, right? And that too without too much of thinking about taking too much pressure. Like if a student does not take a pressure does not have too much pressure on his end, then it would be much better for the student, because the teacher thinks for him, right? So in this case, Bhupalan sir had a very different style. So first few days, what he would do, he would see the student first. So how much time does he sit and study? After if we are given a task, right? If we are given a question, or if we are given a paragraph to read, and if we are trying to solve the questions, how fast are we able to do that? And if we are the first time I was trying to write a question, it was a test, not a question, actually a test. When I was trying to do, I was so afraid, because I got so much afraid of these exams, that the first time he went ahead and called me for the exam, when I prepared a whole full chapter, I was scared that I will again fail, and I didn't want to go ahead and write it. So he didn't scold me that day. He said, it's okay, fine, why are you getting stressed out? Just come with me, we'll just go ahead, we'll just talk for a bit, and then we'll free your mind. So he didn't say what he was doing. In the back of his head, he was going ahead and he was planning everything to see where the student is, okay? So what it does here is, it goes ahead and it will help your career at the end, because you will have the degree there. Some people, I know most of my friends who have taken this as a silly thing about clearing papers, and they have just left it just like that, or they have tried it through other teachers who have not been able to do so. See, I'm not blaming teachers here. It's the style of teaching which matters. So that is the major thing here, okay? Right. So as I was saying, I had a lot of papers, and see, each teacher's style is different. So as I told you at the start, he goes ahead and checks for each type of student, like what type of procedure should he apply. So for me, I was a very different kind of student, where he had to put more focus on different terms. See, for me, studying was I needed a little push. I was not systematic, so he made me systematic to come to his house and start studying, or come to this coaching center and start studying at a certain period of time. So due to that, what happened was, my mind was not wandering at any point of time, and it was going ahead very well, because it set a tone for my for my mind to think that yes, this time is for studying, this time is for doing this time is for doing that. And since this was the case, what happened was my mind started thinking, my brain started thinking that yes, this is the specific time for this, so we have to do these things. All right, so my brain, after a certain period of time, it will start setting it up. You have to give him, at least a month's time to observe you and give you the results for that. Within a month also, nobody will be able to go ahead and assess anybody. Okay, no teacher does that. He does it in this manner. So his way of teaching is completely different from other teachers. See, normal teaching, he's not going to spoon feed you like when you were in class KG, A for apple, B for boy is not going to happen. Okay, he is going to tell you things. Right? He's going to tell you that read this, read that. These are the question and answers, as you would have seen in his website, which he has opened, Ramanuja, in the name of Ramanuja, and Professor and Ramanuja, and you can go ahead and go to that institute. Give it a semester's time. Okay, you will see the results. That's the major important thing here. First and foremost, as he had said in the website, you would require last 5 years or 10 years question paper. All right, and those question papers should be solved. Okay, so you have to solve the answers. So you have to find the answers, verify it with him, and then when you have this material, then the process starts. So there are some before going ahead and getting into any major thing, you have to get some things ready, right? Small things like you have to before writing an exam, you need a pen, you need a blue pen, you need a black pen, you need a pencil, a rubber, a sharpener, a scale, right? So same way, these are the things which are required, like the question papers, which are very important. Whichever university you are writing, he is good at it. I'm telling you this, right? This is a guarantee because I have experienced it. There was one, there are things which you will not understand at start. Why am I sitting? Why am I being told to do this for these many hours when I already know it and it has not helped you out, right? He is going to do the same thing. He's just going to test you out. So you have to understand that thing. And finally, that's about Mr. Bhupalan sir, all right, and he is very open. If you have any issues, okay, facing any personal issues, any kind of psychological issues, you can also discuss with him. He'll be helping you out. As I told you, when I was writing my first test exam, yeah, so as I was saying when I was writing my first test exam it was for EC1, right? Electronic Communication 1. It's a very easy paper. I wouldn't say it was tough, but the only thing was whenever I went to examinations, I always forgot the answers. That's because of this, people have stage fears, they have butterflies in their stomach. This is the same case here. So he has to make you prone to an examination environment. So that too he does. So he's thinking not only about you to grab the knowledge, but also how to clear the paper. Because see, it's not about writing, if you have a maths problem, it's not about solving the question 10 times. If you go to the examination and you are not able to write that answer, even after you have practiced it 50 times or 100 times, then it's a waste of time, I would say, right? So what he does here is he creates an examination mind, all right, or an examination environment, and there he goes ahead and does different types of techniques, like how much time do I require. So if I write the one question paper pattern in within the first time when I went ahead and wrote, I was able to write just 2 or 3 questions, or I would say actually, to tell you the truth, it was just 2 questions I was able to write. Other answers I didn't know at all. So he gave me the procedure. So there is a pattern of writing answers. Okay, you cannot just go ahead and start writing just your 16-mark questions or 20-mark questions, however it's segregated. Part A and part B are both important, and he thinks not only as a part of just writing the answers, also thinking in terms of how an invigilator would see your answer sheet. Because see, the most important part which no teacher would tell you, no tuition teacher would say you, is the 2 marks, which are very important. The part A, which is simple answers which they ask. If you are not able to make an impact in the first 2 marks attempt, then the mind of the invigilator would say that maybe that guy is not that good, or the girl is not that good, right? Whoever the student has written it, it's not that good. So since, see, it's not the invigilator's fault also, because they have to check a lot of papers during that time. So there, in that point, what Mr. Bhupalan does is he goes ahead and he tries to get into that situation and tries to think what would the invigilator think, and he gives us tips of how to write those answers. There are some things people say that some girls, generally girls, go ahead and underline stuffs, right? Important words. When you write in 2 marks, the heading, if you're writing about what is mean, right? So what is mean when you write in probability, so you have to underline it, write it in black. So there are different techniques to it. All those kinds of techniques, all right, he will be teaching you. And as I said, if you have any kind of problems, right, when you're writing question paper, yes, there would be fear. I know that because I have felt that, right? But when you are with him, he will be helping you out with all these processes. So see, you neither have the fear of examination, secondly you clear your paper, so both the things are cleared, and finally you also have the idea of what each stuff is, right? So I would suggest that you please go ahead and try his coaching center which he has opened recently, and give it a seminar. Okay, you have paid, I know you would have gone to a lot of tuition teachers, you would have gone to different tuition teachers, going, they would be famous and all right, or they would have cleared a lot of other students, but you are not still getting cleared, and you would be blaming yourself that yes, there may be a problem in your end, but it's actually not that. So I would say please go ahead and go to his tuition center where Mr. Bhupalan teaches with Priya ma'am, who is her wife, and she is one of the best maths teacher too. Okay, her way of teaching is completely different. She taught me in a very different way, probability and random process. I tell you, even if you think I am saying I'm just saying these things. You should have seen the example of the student, through which I went ahead and came to them. All right. So that guy had 3 maths papers, 3 or 4 maths papers. He had all of them: maths 1, maths 2, maths 3, maths 4. Right. All of them he had arrears, but he was able to clear each one of them. So there goes the result, right? If you have to see results, and based on that only you'll be able to understand who is much better. Right? See, I'm not again I'm saying I'm not comparing teachers, but this is how how through an invigilator's mind, how to make the final attempt. See, I would say the final thing is to clear the paper. So if you want to clear the paper and and want to do it on a stress-free case, then it would be much better, because he would prepare you 2 months before the examination. But you have to go a little in advance for him. Give him some time, at least, the first month, as I told you, first month he'll evaluate you, what you're doing, or at least a week he'll need to evaluate you. The more time you give it to him, the more easier would be for him to make you clear those papers. Okay. So this is a request. If you can go ahead and, check how they go ahead and do it. They are the best teachers, I tell you. You have any maths problem, or you have any problem on microprocessor, signals and processing, all those stuff, any kind of subjects are there, he will be able to help you out. All right, please go to his engineering institute, and it would be much better for you. Right? Thank you. Bye.